I keep forgetting to turn this mic on. Yo, what's up? All right, so I was helping somebody yesterday, day before, whenever it was. Whenever you watch this, probably months, years, whatever the deal is. But I was helping somebody. For me, this was yesterday. For you, this is probably years. All right, so if you have print head clogs doing DTFs, sublimation on the Epson 8550, well, and actually this is any printer that uses water-based inks. Has to be water-based inks. What I'm going to show you, this method works. It works about 80 to 90% of the times. I've been searching forums and those solutions, they don't work. But this method, you have a really high chance of it working. If this don't work, you might as well just replace the printer or the print head. All right, so here we go. My first lesson in homebrew DTF. I don't know, I asked if I should teach this course. I got no response. Here I am teaching anyways. If you watch it and learn something, if not, I guess it sucks to be me. But here we go. This is what you're gonna need. A lot of this stuff is optional. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the brands. This is the brands I have. You don't have to get none of this stuff. Don't even care about them. This is just what I got in my house. Don't worry about the brands. Don't even look at them. As far as you're concerned, they don't exist. All right? Don't pay attention to them. Get what you can get your hands on. Don't pay attention to them. This is just what I got in my house. All right? Let's get to this. Let's flip this around. There we go. All right, so what you're gonna need? You're gonna need your scissors, a piece of plastic bag. Piece of plastic, not a bag, piece of plastic. Any plastic will do. I'm just using a piece of zip. I just have a Ziploc bag laying around. Cup, a measuring cup. The reason why I have a measuring cup, and it's so important. A measuring cup, this is 59 milliliters. For people who don't use milliliters, this is a quarter cup. The reason why I'm getting the measuring cups, because I was trying to figure out how to tell people how much water to use. And I figure out that this is a good amount of water, and the time should be almost accurate, because not all microwave are the same amount, not all microwave heat at the same temperature. So having the right a set amount of water, kind of get the water to roughly the same temperature or damn close to it. So having a good measuring cup, helps a lot. Q-tips, no matter which one, I don't care which one you have, as long as you have a Q-tip, you'll be good to go. All right, again, like I said, don't pay attention to the brands, don't pay attention to the style. Q-tip, no matter which one. See, this is just a regular Walmart version. Don't care, as long as you got the Q-tip, you're good. Microfiber rag. If you don't have one, you can pick up in bulk like that. Again, don't watch the brand, just as long as you have one. You get these when you get glasses, or you just pick them up at the dollar store. Don't really matter which one, as long as you have one. What you're using this for, again, I'm gonna give you context, a lot of information when I'm through this class, course, whatever you want to call it. I'd like to give information, because I'm gonna tell you what you're doing, why you're doing it, and the reason why you're doing it. Not just, oh, do this, and then don't explain why you're doing it. I hate that. I hate when people give you, oh, do this. Okay, why am I doing this? Oh, I don't know why you're doing this. Just do it. It works. No. I'm going to tell you why you're doing this. The reason why you're doing this is because this is going to absorb the ink. That's why you need this. Paper towels don't absorb ink like this thing does. This will absorb way more ink than that thing will. This absorbs ink, but not as much as this. All right. This will stay warmer longer than that. That's why you use it. That's why you want this versus that. Okay. This is cool for cleaning up. This is good for soaking. That's what this is for. All right. That's why you need this. You can use that, but I highly recommend this. All right. If you don't have this, you can use that, but still recommend this. Again, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but you have a lot of repeating. And when I repeat something, you know it's important because I'm repeating it. Scissors, you're going to use the scissors to cut out the bag. And you're going to use the scissors to cut up the rag. That's why you need a scissors. And if you don't have a scissors, I don't know what to tell you. You need to go get yourself a scissors. You need a scissors for more than just cutting up papers, and you need a scissors. Get a scissors in your life if you don't have one. All right. Cup, plate, spoon, that really don't matter as long as you can put water in it and can go to the microwave, you're good to go. Don't use plastics. Use some kind of ceramic or glass or something like that. Again, doesn't matter as long as it can hold this much water in it. Even works. It doesn't matter. Again, it's just the whole water heated up. All right. All right. Alcohol. Make sure you get at least, this is in focus, 91% alcohol. You need alcohol. Again, this is just Members Mark. You can get this thing. I think I paid $10 for this. Buy yourself some 90% alcohol. This stuff is more, you can use for more than just cleaning equipment. And what's good about 90% alcohol is if you use it to clean stuff, it dries instantly. And this is really good, especially if you're doing DTF, for cleaning stuff, and it dries instantly. And part of the process, you're going to need this. All right? So get yourself some of that. You don't have to get the big bottles like that. Again, don't pay attention to the brand. I got a bunch of this from Walmart, and it comes in single bottles. You can get them from the dollar store. You can get them from Rite Aid. You can get them from anywhere. Again, don't pay attention to brand. Just pay attention to the stuff, which is the 91% alcohol. That's what it is. I don't care what brand you get, what type of alcohol you get, as long as it's 91%. All right? Windex glass cleaner. I would say Windex, but it's literally just glass cleaner with ammonia in it. I don't care what brand it is. This is how you make your solution for cleaning stuff. All right, it's just glass cleaner with ammonia in it. This is preferred. This is distilled water. And why you want distilled water is because it's cleaner than tap water, it's cleaner than drinking water, and it's cleaner than any kind of water. It's literally purified water to almost its purest form, cleanest form. This is why distilled water is really, really good. It's just extremely clean water. That's why you want distilled water. This is why people keep saying they're getting distilled water. They don't explain why. But distilled water is very, 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 very clean. This is why you really can't drink it. There's like there's nothing in it. It's like sterilized water. There's nothing in it really. It's not drinkable. You can drink it if you really want to, if you're that thirsty, but I don't recommend drinking it. But it's good for cleaning equipment and electronics and all that stuff. There's very little particles in it. So when you're cleaning your print heads and you want to flush your print heads or you want to do stuff like that, distilled water mixed with your glass cleaner, which is also clean enough, because the ammonia and the streak-free part of the glass cleaner, this is why it's also streak-free. It's purified. These two things are clean enough so when you do use them, that's what the streak-free part of this is. They take out all the dirty stuff out of it, so that when you clean your glass, you don't see any dirt in there. That's what the streak-free part of the streak-free is. And these two combined together create a nice cleaning solution to clean your print head without damaging it. So this dilutes this enough to the point where so your print head won't get damaged when this runs through the print head. All right, I hope you get the gist. So this dilutes this. That's all you need to know. This dilutes that. All right, cool. So you need this and this together to create a cleaner. All right, good. Now this is what you really need. This is the part you put in here. So you get some of this. If you don't have this, you really don't need this until you have to run it through your print head. If you're just clearing a clog, you don't need this. Let me say this again. If you have to run it through your print head, like through your lines and stuff, you want to use this. If you're just running it through if you're going to just clean your print head like a clog from the outside, which you're going to use this, you can just use tap water. Just turn on the tap, put some water in here, bottled water, drinking water, any water, it really doesn't matter. As long as it's water, pump it in here, pour some in here, put it in your thing, dump it in the microwave, heat it up, 30 to 45 seconds, good enough. Heat it up, and then I'll take it to the next step. All right? Give me a second. I have to get myself prepared to show you the next step, because that part's a little bit more. I have to clean all this stuff up off the table before my just leave it at that. All right, so I clean all this up and then I'll come back. But just before I clean it up, let me show you. You need a piece of plastic. Any piece of plastic will work. I just use this because this is what I have. So any piece of plastic will work. You need this. You need a Q-tip. Any Q-tip will work. You need a piece of scissors, microfiber, a measuring cup, a bowl of any kind, doesn't matter which one. Cleaning solution. If you don't have any, you can buy some, borrow some, beg some, steal some. Again, make your own, which is just glass cleaner, distill the water. That's how you make some. All right. There's so much videos. Watch somebody else make some, or you can just figure it out yourself. I just make mine. I just buy, like I said, I just buy this and mix it to my specifications. I like to make my own, and this is really not complicated to make. You just make it as thin or as thick as you want. It depends on your usage. It's a very small, very small amount of this to a lot of that. People say one part's this, one part. I have no clue what one part is to 5 parts, whatever. So you just mix it to whatever your heart feel like to mix it to. Okay, mix it, make your own. Save yourself the headache. And this, you need a tweezer. All right, you're gonna need one of these. And yeah, if you don't have a spray bottle, just find one. I got this from Five Below. Yeah, I think I got this from Five Below. Is this Five Below? I'm pretty sure it's Five Below. I got this from. So get a spray bottle. Put your isopropylene alcohol in it. Save yourself the headache. All right. And let me clean this up, and I'll be back. Hold on. All right. So now that I'm at my 15,000, the XP 15,000, I have to use this one because my 8550 is printing. I'm going to show you as best as I can because I'm holding the camera with one hand. So one hand only. So we're going to get over here. We're going to grab a bowl. Move that out of the way. So get water, pump it in here, fill it up. You only need one of these. You don't need too much. Then you're going to put it in the microwave. Microwave it up. 45 to 35 seconds. You really don't need much. All right. You just want the water warm, not hot. Okay. Warm water is good enough because you're going to soak it. You don't want to damage the print head, and you don't want to put anything too hot on here. All right. You want it warm. 30 to 45 minutes would be plenty of hot. All right. Plenty. So you're going to put it in here. It's going to be nice and warm. Especially if you take it from the tap. Not cold. Don't put cold water in there, because if you put cold water in there, you're going to have a problem. You want to put warm water, room temperature water, and you're going to heat it up. All right. Remember, room temperature water. So make sure you get it from the tap, or make sure the water's been sitting in the room somewhere, not in a fridge, not from a cooler, just sitting out of the tap. And you just put it in here and you heat it up for 35 to 45 seconds, and then you put it in the microwave 35, 45 seconds, and then you dip your little rag in here, and then you squeeze out every ounce of water out of it. You want to make sure this is not dripping wet. You want to make sure you get every ounce of water out of this, as much as you can get out of here, okay? As much water you can get out of here as possible, because you don't want it to be wet. Then you're going to take this, take your bag, you're going to lay it like so. Whoops, I'm not even showing you what I'm supposed to show you. I'm trying to do this with one hand, and again, so just to make sure I show you, you're going to squeeze this out, squeeze all the water, make sure all the water's gone out of it, right? And this is just one rag I already cut, because I use this, as you can see, I used this before to do the same exact thing I'm showing you right now. See, I did it before, and as you see, it's water soluble. So when there's a print head mark, see it? I did the same exact thing I'm teaching you right now. And you soak every ounce of print head juice out of there. So you're going to take it, and you're going to just fold it. Just going to fold it. I'm gonna put it in here. Then you're gonna take your print head. Oh my goodness, this is not gonna work. Because I'm gonna try and do it with one hand. You're gonna take your print head. The 8550 is a lot higher than the 15,000, so I have to do this differently. So I have to take this, I have to thin it out some. Because the print heads are two different print heads, one higher than this one's lower than the 15,000, than the 8550. So I'm gonna thin it out some. Line it up. Good. See how it's touching the print head right there? See it's touching? That's what you want. You want it just enough when you push on it, it touches just the bottom of the print, thing like that, right? All right. So now that's you know what? Let me thin it out. This don't move as nice as the 8550, but if you have this printer, you do the same thing. You just pick it up some, and you push it. Just push it, and just keep pushing. This one you have to put. Let me bring this down so I think I know what's going on. See back here, this piece won't go back behind here because of this roller bar. So I have to bring the plastic bag, and what the plastic is going to do. I didn't tell you what the plastic is going to do, did I? Well, okay. So what the plastic is here for? Plastic is here for a real simple reason. The plastic is going to keep the ink, the excess ink, from getting onto your print bed. All right, and then when you have too much ink, because this thing will suck every ounce of ink out of those ink thing that it can suck, right? So it's gonna suck every ounce of ink it can out of the print head and your ink cartridges, because this is gonna, oh my goodness, it's gonna suck every ink it can. So this piece of plastic is gonna be there to prevent the excess ink. And I really should just cut this, to be honest with you. Let me cut it, because it's too big. Let me cut it. Give me a second. Because it's just way too big. That's why you need the scissors. That's why if you don't have a scissors, get a scissors. Let me cut it. All right, let me cut it off because it's too big. See, it wasn't sitting properly. Now that it's smaller, it should sit properly. And boom, see? Look how easy that was. Sitting properly now. Now let me get this down in here. And this is too big for this. That's why this is not working out. I should cut this again. But because I use this for the 8550 and it's perfectly cut for the 8550, not the 15,000, I don't want to ruin this. Don't want to ruin this, but I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to ruin it. Oh well. I'll make another one. Here we go. All right, so I cut it. I cut it again. You made me cut it again. I couldn't even see what I was showing you. See, I cut it again. I cut it smaller. Let me try to angle it so you can see me more better. See, I cut the plastic. I cut this plastic. I don't know if you could see all that stuff. I cut the plastic because I can't see. I'm this tiny screen's so tiny I couldn't see nothing. So I cut the plastic. I'm gonna try to edit a lot of this stuff because I don't know what I was showing you. I cut the plastic, and then I cut this because this was designed for the 8550. So I cut it for this 15,000. So I cut it. So now the whole thing should sit nicely inside the bed. That's what you want. All right. So now when I take this print head and slide it over, it will slide right over like a so. See that? Look at that. It just slides right, glide right on top of it like that. It takes some finessing, but once you do it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and when it's wet, it will just slide over. And that's what you want. See? And boom, there it is. And this is not wet, so it's not going to work like when it's wet, okay? This is dry. I didn't wet it. I don't have to soak my print head, but that's what it looks like on both sides. See, you're going to have a piece over here. Let me try to get this camera to do what I want it to do. See, a piece right there and a piece over here. All right. Now, your print head sits on the 15,000. See if I can get you some light. My goodness, this camera don't do what I want it to do half the damn time. All right, so the printhead sits from here to here. So you want to make sure this piece of fabric sits in between here, and it goes all the way. It's like on right over here, the printhead, right in here. Even though the section is that big, the printhead is literally just right over here. Right, just right in this little section right here. So you want to make sure that piece of fabric is all just sitting right here. And when you have the heat on it, it's going to steam. This is why you want the water to be warm. It's going to steam the printhead. All right, it's going to steam the printhead and melt the white ink, because that's usually what's clogged up is your white ink. All right, so you're going to steam that white ink. Steam and melt that ink. Then you're going to melt that ink. Oh my goodness, this stupid thing. There we go. Then you're going to melt the white ink. And once you melt the white ink, you'll be set. All right? That's what you're doing. Melting the white ink with this heat. Once you heat the water, you're going to melt the white ink with the steam that's coming off this rag. All right? That's what you're doing with the warm water and the rag. That's why you don't want the rag wet. That's why you want the rag dry. That's why you squeeze out all the water out of it to put it back in here. Because when you steam it, the steam and the damp rag is going to suck all these inks out. When I say it's going to suck them out, just right now, just having this in here like this, you're going to see when I pull this out of here, it's going to suck. Just by sitting in here, just by itself, it's already sucking out the inks out of these ink cartridges. Just sitting there, just like this. All right, and when you steam it now, it's going to melt. It's going to introduce even more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's going to introduce more stuff in here, and it's going to suck out even. It's going to increase the suction power. So it's going to even suck even more. So that whatever clog that's in your printhead is going to melt and then suck at the same time. So that white is just going to melt and suck right into this. And this process, it sounds great, but it takes at least 2 to 3 days to complete. All right. So don't think it's a quick one fix process. People, do this thing to get done. No, it takes about 2 to 3 days. All right, it depends on how clogged your printer is. If your printer is clogged, like, for instance, your printer is clogged like 2 or 3 nozzles, yeah, it will take one time and it will done. 30 minutes, you let it sit for like 6 hours, then you're done. Right, you should be able to print. If your print head is clogged where you can't get any white out at all, it's going to take you about 3 days. 3 days before you can print again. When you have your rag in here, make sure your printer is not connected to any power source. Make sure you don't have any power source, no cables, no nothing. Make sure nothing's plugged into this printer. No power is going through it. It's not connected to your computer. It's not connected to nothing. No power into this printer at all, okay? You don't want to damage your print head, and you don't want to damage your circuit board. So that's also another reason why you want to make sure this thing is not plugged into anything, right? These are things you need to know. I'm going to try to get this out of here because, see, look at that. That's what I was talking about. See it? Just by sitting there. For me, just sitting there just like that. See it sucking out the inks already? That's how powerful this method is. It's not even wet. It's not even wet. Look at that. Look how much ink it sucked out already. It's not even wet. That's how powerful that method is. All right. So when you're doing this, and there's another thing too. When you're doing this method, you do not want to do it anywhere on this side of your printer. Nowhere over here. You want to do it on this side of the printer or somewhere in the middle. Do not go anywhere on this side. Middle, side, nowhere this side. All right. Middle, this side, nowhere this side. I know I can't stress this enough. Middle, this side, nowhere this side. Circuit boards All your wiring is on this side of the printer. All right, this is where all the damage happens. So anywhere here is fine. Nowhere over here is okay. All right, I learned the hard way. See this? This is from me leaking excess printer ink without having the plastic underneath. This is why this plastic is so important. All right, this plastic prevents that from happening. See him? That's what the plastic prevents. All those little leakage. All right, so that's why you want the plastic. This is why this plastic is so important. All right, so you see them all over the print bed. I learned the hard way, so I'm teaching you so you don't have to do it the hard way. Get the plastic, save yourself some headaches. All right, now after you take this thing out, you're going to repeat this step. Heat. Let me tell you, you got to get fresh water. Once the water cools down, you're going to get fresh water. You're going to heat it up again. Then you're going to wash this. You have to wash it. Wash it while this is cooling down. Because once you take this out, you have to let this cool down for 6 to 12 hours. I know I'm going out of sequence here, and I know I can't even keep my own thoughts straight. So please bear with me. I know it's sometimes it's hard, but you have to watch. And I'm gonna try to I hope I put it in front of the video, and I didn't. And I hope I did put in front of the video that you need to watch this video in its entirety, because it's all over the place, and you have to try and keep track. Okay, you have to try and keep track. After you take this out the first time, and every time thereof, once you remove this, you have to let this print head sit for anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. And I will not stress this enough. I will not be able to stress this enough. You have to let this thing sit anywhere from 6 to 12 hours. Not minutes, hours. Before you apply any power to it. I hope you get that. I will not be responsible for you damaging your printer. 6 to 12 hours, not minutes, not seconds, not, I think 6 to 12 hours minimum. When I say minimum, I mean absolute minimum. This is not no highway option here. 6 to 12 hours minimum. I've learned the hard way, and I'm trying to tell you there is no highway options to this one. 6 to 12 hour minimum. All right? It needs to sit before you put any power to this. You can't plug it in. You can't say, let me try it. No. It needs to sit 6 to 12 hours, and you need to push it right over there like that. And it needs to sit like that 6 to 12 hours before you put any power back to it. Okay? Now, when you take it out, and if you look at it and you don't see any white on it, like, for instance, there is no white on it, guess what? You don't plug it in. You do the process all over again. Okay? You go do this, and you start from water, heat it up again, make sure the water is warm. Again, make sure the water is at least over 70 degrees. The water has to be over 70 degrees. All right? 30 to 40 minutes should get it over 70 degrees. That's why I said you should be fine. 30, 40 minutes, as long as you use a quarter cup of water. I'm pretty sure that's a quarter cup. Yep, a quarter cup. As long as you use a quarter cup of water, 30 minutes in your microwave should get it over 70 degrees. All right? Let it soak, and you should be fine. And you just do the process all over again. Just let it soak 30 minutes to an hour. No less. Again, minimum. 30 minutes to an hour. It needs to sit there soaking the print head. All right? You can let it soak longer if you want to. The choice is technically yours. Let it soak. Let it soak. Let it soak. Downside. Absolute downside. this thing will get drenched in ink. This is why I don't want you to go over an hour, but you can if you absolutely want to. The thing is, you're going to have to put a bigger piece of plastic because it's going to literally just keep just sucking up ink, and then it's going to start just pooling up everywhere. So kind of why you want to not go overboard with it. Your choice. Again, this is your choice. You just know that you're going to get ink everywhere if you wait too long to replace it. All right. Now, second thing is, when you get done, you want to make sure you put your print head back over the inkwell, that thing. Make sure it comes back over here, because even though you take it off the rag and stuff, it can still leak, because remember, it still have that pull on it. All right, it's still gonna pull. So you want to take it off of here and then put it directly over your inkwell, so it could still leak into your inkwell. So until it cools back down again and stop pulling, all that suction comes off of it, which is a good thing because you want that suction to keep pulling to keep that flow going, which is what's good. Downside again to that is you're going to empty your inks. Sorry, that's the downside. You're emptying your inks. If you have 8550, you're emptying the ink tanks. If you have ink cartridges, you're going to empty your ink cartridges. I mean, you got to do that anyways, so I really don't see the big deal. But some people might get mad. Sorry, it's a side effect of clearing the print head. Sorry, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Now, like I said, if you don't see any white, let's try to get back on track here. If you don't get any white, you're going to do the same process all over again. Same thing. You put your plastic bag, you soak this, you heat that water, you soak it, you drench out all the water, but make sure you wash this first. Again, make sure you wash this. So again, wash it clean, make sure it's clean, nice and clean, get all the ink out of it, wash it as best as you can. Actually, you can wash this in hot water. When you wash it in hot water, if you can actually stand it, because I couldn't stand it, I had to literally put it in the sink and then spray it with hot water, and then when you put hot water on this, you'll see the ink will just flood right out of it because it just melts it out. When you wash it with hot water, it will get rid of all the ink, and then you just let it dry or cool or whatever, and then you just squish it out, and then you just wait till it cools. Then you start the process all over again if you don't see any ink. All right, let this cool first though. Let it wait 6 to 12 hours before you try it again. All right, minimum 6 to 12 hours before you try again. All right, but if you don't see any white, on here, try it again. If you don't have white, if you don't use sublimation, if you're not doing DTF and you're doing like sublimation or something like that, then you don't have to worry about white. As long as you see all your colors. If you're doing sublimation, you're doing regular printing, this is a one-time job and you're done. All right. But I'm more talking to people with DTF. This is geared towards people with DTF. All right. This is what I'm trying to help people with DTFs. DTF on 15,000, 8550. If you're using sublimation, this is probably a one-time thing and you're done. All right. You pretty much can stop watching the video here. But for everybody, for all who is doing DTF, I'm telling you, you might have to do this like 2 or 3 times to get that white ink flowing again. All right. Now, if you're also doing DTF, again, all you sublimation people, thanks for watching. You guys can probably bounce at this point, but I'd love for you to keep watching. But if you're not, because there's probably still more you can learn from this. But if you don't want to watch it, you can actually leave. If you're doing DTF, don't put your white inks on the ends. Okay? If you're doing DTFs, do not put your white inks anywhere on the ends. All right? This is probably why your inks are clogging so easy. Try to put your white inks somewhere in the middle. All right? So if you're doing DTFs, put your white inks somewhere in the middle. Your software allows you to put your white inks anywhere. Now, so put your white inks somewhere in the middle. Always try to put your white ink somewhere in the middle. It will help with clogging. I promise you it will help. I know it don't sound like a lot, but put your white inks in the middle of your printer, of your print head. It helps, and it helps a lot. Oh my goodness, I didn't know it would make that much of a difference, but it makes a huge difference. and I hope that helps you. I'm talking a lot, and if I miss something, leave a comment, ask questions. I hope I covered as much as I could. I probably forget a bunch of stuff because this process, as I can say, it's really a lot. It really is a lot to do. It takes again 3 days for DTF, sublimation, regular prints, a day and a half. But that's probably it. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. But you have a question, ask. I have no problem answering it. I have nothing else to do but sit down and make videos and answer questions and print stuff when people ask me to. All right. Again, my first class in homebrew, DTF, sublimation, blah, 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 blah. All right. So hope y'all having a good day. Hope this helped you out some way, somehow. If you learned something, awesome. If you don't, well, it sucks to be me, I guess. I didn't teach well. All right. Peace.